Welcome to Drag for Older, where alligator skin meets a cream foundation. I'm doing this for fun. It's my hobby. I've been cross-dressing all my life, and I've learned a lot, and I want to share it. I have one follower so far. I want to talk about passing. There are two sides to passing, and if my Alzheimer doesn't get to me after I finish explaining one half, I'll explain the other half. I'm constantly working on, I'm not trying to look like RuPaul's Drag Race drag queen, and my rule is not to go out looking like a clown. What's here is leftovers from last night. I went to the bank, so I did my eyes and my lips, and now it's all over my pillow. I was walking down the street one day, and when you're a cross-dresser, people either look at you like, oh my God, look at that, or they try not to see you. You get this? La 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 la. I don't see it. It's actually more painful than people going, look at that. This day, nothing was happening. No one was looking at me at all. And I realized I was passing as an old lady. And if you're an old lady, no one has any interest in you. No. This true story happened. There was two older women walking towards me, and one of them said, I guess I'm old now. And her friend said, what do you mean? And she said, no one's looking at me. And I was startled, because I just had my revelation that I was passing and was just an old lady. So, there was an old comedian called Moms Mabley, and she was in her 80s and doing comedy, and she said about men, no matter how old you are, they'll always look one time. So, if you're passing as an old lady, you're going to continue to be lonely. If you want to pass so your neighbors won't bother you and your landlord won't come up and hit on you, and fingers will be pointed and people will tell your mom, then that's one of the reasons to be passable for a peaceful life. However, peaceful also means alone. A trans woman girl has some cachet as a trans person. There's a lot more interested in that than an old woman walking down the street. So if you want to be passable for peace, yes. If you're still looking for a relationship, no, because if people can't see that you're trans, you're losing your social signal that you're available. And as we all know, trans is fetishized. I don't think I'm going to make it through that one. Fetishized. And those people are not serious about you. They're serious about the fantasy. So I'm sure we've all had painful experiences with that. And my motto is, if you're going to get treated like SHIT, you might as well get paid. And I just had some experience on Facebook. I opened up a Facebook page and then I got slammed with hundreds of dick pics and guys all over the world saying, "You're so beautiful, I love you, I need you, I want you in a serious relationship." So I said, first of all, stop sending me dick pics. I can't believe how porno-like Facebook is. All the girls are 12s and young. Suspicious of that. So I started saying, okay, send me plane tickets then, and I'll come over and spend a month with you, and we'll see how it goes. And Facebook has gone, oh, she's asking for money, so we're going to limit her exposure because that's not cool. Actually, I was just trying to get rid of people from the Middle East, for example. There's no way they're going to marry somebody from North America on spec. So I'm a executive in a medical research company. I don't have time to liaison and look at masturbation by people in the Middle East. I'm 73. I haven't had an actual date in over 30 years. And on that date, the guy took me to dinner, but he was eating like this and couldn't get rid of me fast enough. But he did buy me a pair of shoes. He was a gentleman. So times are tough. If you look like Jessica Rabbit, passable, then you can get dates, you can get millionaires, you can have it nice. So the girls who look like that, I never see them because they're always on a yacht or in a fancy hotel or being taken to the Bahamas. I see them once a year at events. And they are 10s, 12s, 15s. The rest of us, if you want to take us out, you have to go down to the pound and say, I want number 16. Sorry for that. I think I'm funny. So, just circling back, as Jen has taught us to do, if you want to be passable for a peaceful life, fine. You can have a peaceful life. And no one will know. There still is the danger in if your family finds out, or your wife finds out, or your children finds out, you can, depending on who they are, lose everything. You can lose your wife, your marriage, your children, and to get divorced, you lose your house, you can lose your job, you can lose all your friends and relatives. On one side of the justice scales, and the other side is you're feeling comfortable with yourself. So is it worth it? And the pain of trying to balance that is probably what's ruining your life, so make a decision. I came out to my entire social circle, and nothing happened. I didn't lose a friend. I didn't lose anything. So I was lucky. The other side is you don't want to look like what is called a busted queen. This is a term that came out of RuPaul's Drag Race. All the girls there look fantastic, and their ability to paint is fantastic, and they can sew better than people. You would go to a millinery person and say, fix my dress. These queens can out-sew them, so there's a lot of talent and craft there. But I used to do that kind of makeup, and it took me 5 hours. I'd start at 6:30, and by 11:30 I was ready to go downtown. it's not worth doing that to go to the grocery store. I kept buying clothes and kept upgrading. Is this dress better than everything that I own so far? Yes, then I get it. Working on my makeup, wigs. So you have to balance how you want to feel inside with what level of social acceptance you want to have. After all this wokeness, lately, there's less antagonism towards trans anything. So I've been full-time walking around my town for maybe say 6 years. Not one cat call. Never been assaulted, never been insulted, never had even a whistle. Just, okay, cross-dresser. I go to the grocery store, the bank, Walmart, they all know me. So you might try that, or you might try going to the other side of your town, or joining groups. There are clubs. I'm in a group called Girls in the Burbs, which is worldwide. It has at least one event a month. But a busted queen is someone who has a cheap wig, like a $12 to $20 wig. No foundation, blue eyeshadow, no eyelashes, lipsticks. Lips are not lined and enlarged. It doesn't have the orange to cover the beard shadow. And this is not passing. And it's also not very feminine. So my belief is the way out of your situation is to cultivate femininity, which is you have to find a foundation that's absolutely porcelain. Get a real human hair wig. Buy one. Probably cost you $150 to $275. But you can curl it, you can heat it, it'll look better, it'll flow better. I have I have $30, $20 wigs, so that's $600 worth of wigs. I could have bought a $600 human hair wig. Go to a professional makeup person who understands drag, possibly a movie person, because they might have to do drag for someone, or the upper queens in your city. Get your face done one time correctly, photograph it from the side, the front, other side, see what your possibilities are, and work on that. Like, I have a long square face, and I will never have the feminine triangle at the bottom. So I have to work with that. I have a big nose, which will never be that long. It's that long, and it's not thin. Now, with skillful painting, you can do this, but it takes hours to create that illusion. Also, T-GURL puberty, which is if you're doing this after a lifetime of not doing it, you never got to be the teenage girl. So teenage girl is stilettos, long legs, leather miniskirt, tight top with huge boobs. Hopefully a sexy haircut, and and good makeup. But if you do that, you're going to be instantly clockable as a trans or crossdresser or something like that. I'm using the word trans to cover all of us. I don't want to get into the labeling aspect of it. So I see hundreds of pictures online of women doing that. That's how they want to feel, because they want to have their teenage sexual puberty. Which is very hard to get unless you look like Jessica Rabbit. So I would suggest bending over, no pun intended, to the feminine and get longer hair. And the most feminine haircut is straight down here and then curly on the sides, which is what happens to long hair after the months of being there. It picks up enough moisture and it starts to curl. Wear a dress, not a top and a skirt. And do your colors. Your undertone will be red, yellow, pink, blue. Find out what that is. There's clothing that would go and enhance. I put on a white dress last night and it looked like I had it suntan. I was shocked. I went, wow. Complete change of apparent skin color. You have to match your eye makeup to your eye color and your foundation to your skin tone and your clothing to your skin tone, and then you have to find out what your body type is, and there are 7 of them, and dress for your body type. So if you have the right wig, the right makeup, the right dress, the right accessories, you're much more feminine. I'm going to tell you this just to make the point home. True story. I'm 73 years old and I'm very overweight. I had one night I had a very long wig on and a mustard colored dress with a belt on it. I was sitting in a corner with my legs hanging up, and I had 15 men were milling around in front of me trying to get to know me. 3 layers of 5. That never happened before. But that doesn't happen to a 73-year-old fat lady very often. But I had everything going. I had probably 36 inches of long hair, the right necklace, the right dress, everything matched up. And I'm sitting on a bar stool, available obviously because I'm alone with my legs hanging out. That is the signal. And I attracted in a lot of people. Not because I'm beautiful, because the whole package was feminine and the rest of the room was full of women with reverse baseball caps, ponytails, team t-shirts, and dirty running shoes. So if you're going to compete, you have to do the work in the right direction. For example, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I went up for a coffee. But I won't come down here without a wig. I didn't do my makeup because I was going to do this video, but I would do my eyebrows, eyelids, lips, absolute minimum. I put on a necklace that matches the dress, and it's a very short dress, almost illegally so. So that's just for coffee. I'm being cruised by a guy right now. So take heart, me hearties. Also, these pictures I see, they're done at home, usually with bad lighting and too much lighting in the background, like a window or something. Please learn a little about photography, or find one of your friends who fancies themselves a photographer and get them to photograph you. Do a photo shoot in a park, or in an art gallery or a museum or something like that. And you can look up poses on YouTube and collect those and get a contact sheet of those and show them to your friend and say, I want you to photograph me in these poses. And that'll put you miles ahead. You do see the stars, Hollywood stars, they like to photograph them without their makeup, and look how horrible they look. So the reverse of that is, if you get some pro-looking shots of yourself, it'll put you ahead of the game. You can probably get it done for free by a friend. I guess the best case in point was go look at Pat Benatar's original album cover, which is her with heavy makeup wearing a sort of black wife beater, and it's one of the sexiest pictures ever done of anyone. I think that's what made her career, when people, they heard the voice and went, wow, I like that. And when you saw the album cover, it was like, wow, I like that. That's a poor example. I think I've run out of things to say about it. You never know. It's getting harder to find good stuff in the vintage stores, because people have been leeching off the vintage stores for the last 25, 30 years, and the people who were wearing those clothes are dying off, because they're all 20 or 30 years older than us. But if you go to the wealthier districts, those clothes get donated from estate sales. Or if you go slightly outside of the downtown core, because everyone's in the cities hitting the downtown core stores, go to the suburbs and check out the vintage stores there. I think I will stop. I think I've run out of ideas, but Passable ain't that great unless you're using it properly. Also, earrings are essential. Earrings, necklace. You can put berets in your hair, bows. Anything that says feminine.